In 1841, a young Japanese boy named Manjiro Nakahama was lost at sea during a violent storm. He and his friends were washed ashore on a barren and deserted island. After 6 months, the boys were rescued by an American whaling ship out of Fairhaven, Massachusetts. While the other boys decided to stay in Hawaii, the courageous and curious Manjiro chose to stay with the skipper of the whaling ship, Captain William Whitfield. The boy, who soon came to be known as John Manjiro, returned to Fairhaven. There he learned many things about the new and different culture he found himself immersed in. His connection with Captain Whitfield blossomed into a friendship that would last a lifetime. Eventually, John Manjiro returned to Japan. He carried with him a wealth of information and insight into the growing American culture. This knowledge allowed Manjiro to become an instrumental part of the process that led to the initial opening of relations between these two great nations. It was a role he could easily assume and succeed at, since his friendship with Captain Whitfield had shown him that such cross-cultural exchanges were indeed possible and truly beneficial to all concerned. It has been 150 years since Manjiro and Whitfield forged their historic friendship, and today their bond has become a key symbol to a new and growing movement. This movement is dedicated to increasing the level of contact and understanding between the peoples of Japan and the United States of America by fostering grassroots-level exchanges between the citizens of both nations. This movement is dedicated to the ideal that this type of person-to-person contact is necessary and productive when it comes to easing the tensions and strengthening the bonds between Japan, the United States, and eventually the other nations of the world. At the heart of this worthy movement stands the Japan-America Grassroots Committee. This organization, which is made up of dedicated individuals from both sides of the Pacific, has as its central goal the advancement of contact and interaction between the peoples of Japan and America. While this committee is involved in a number of activities aimed at meeting its goals, its most visible and effective program is a continuing series of Japan-America Grassroots Summits. In November of 1991, the first Japan-America Grassroots Summit took place in Japan. This powerful inaugural event was attended by over 1,200 delegates from both the United States and Japan. These delegates were from a wide variety of backgrounds and occupations. There were 14-year-old children, people from business, teachers, local media members, and representatives of many local governing bodies from both nations. All of these delegates had one overriding goal in mind as they attended the events of the summit: to meet face-to-face with people of another country and culture, and to come away with a deeper understanding of those people and their culture. Good morning. Today we're going to begin a new tradition of exchanging flags between Japan and the United States as a symbol of goodwill and friendship.
Good afternoon. The topic for our discussion.
The first Japan-America Grassroots Summit was a resounding success, meeting all of its stated goals and accomplishing a level of interaction that far and away exceeded those goals.
One of the most exciting things about this conference is to meet the Japanese people who are so happy.
I am happy and humbled, both. These children are wonderful. This whole event is wonderful.
I have had no lack of opportunities to be on a one-on-one with the people of Japan here. And this has just been the most incredible experience.
The events of the summit included a variety of activities that stimulated interaction while challenging the delegates to reach inside themselves and search for the common human themes that quickly erase the misunderstandings and misconceptions held by one culture about another. The American delegates were given the opportunity to tour a number of Japanese enterprises and discover the lifestyles of the Japanese people. Soon after arrival in Tokyo, the American delegates had come into direct contact with the Japanese delegates, and like John Manjiro and Captain Whitfield, a great number of enduring friendships began to be formed. During the course of the week-long summit, delegates were able to interact with each other on a person-to-person basis, participate in a variety of group discussions which focused on both the differences and similarities between the two cultures, and to listen to comments and speeches by such dignitaries as Ichiro Ozawa, former U.S. Attorney General Edwin Meese, Maureen Reagan, and Her Imperial Highness Princess Sayako.
Music is the language of the human soul, and it sounds best to the rhythm of a heartbeat. Can you help us?
Very well. Proceed.
The spirit is alive. Look up in the sky and see the eagle and the crane together flying high.
Of course, there was a liberal measure of quality entertainment which culminated in the outstanding Brotherhood concert performed by the Brothers Four for the delegates at the International Conference Hall in Kyoto. With the successful completion of the first Japan-America Grassroots Summit came the realization that this stunning conference represented the first of many steps that must be taken on the road to cross-cultural understanding and cooperation. With this in mind, immediate preparations began to be made for the second Japan-America Grassroots Summit to be held in the United States during the fall of 1992. An American advisory committee has been formed which is being chaired by the Honorable Cyrus Vance, former Secretary of State and now Special Envoy for the United Nations. Also serving on the committee as vice chairpersons are the governors of 3 of the United States, Governor Weld of Massachusetts, Governor Sullivan of Wyoming, and Governor Stevens of Montana. In addition to the activities of the advisory committee, a talented and dedicated team of organizers and designers has been assembled from across the United States and Japan. The sole purpose of this group is to ensure that this historic event goes as far as possible in accomplishing its goal of facilitating and enhancing grassroots level exchange between the peoples of Japan and the United States. The 1992 summit will allow delegates from Japan and the United States to experience the wide range of activities and environments that make up the American experience. From the urban landscapes of America's cities to the soaring splendor of its natural wonders, the Japanese and American delegates will see it all. Beginning in Boston, the birthplace of American liberty, the delegates will be greeted in a grand fashion and given a general orientation concerning the overall summit schedule. In addition, the stay in Boston will include a reception at the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum. and a trip to see the Boston Red Sox baseball team play a game at Boston's historic Fenway Park. Delegates will also get a chance to walk the streets of Fairhaven, Massachusetts, where the young John Mangero once made his home. The next stop will be in Missoula, Montana. Here, along with a variety of summit-related events, the Japanese delegates will be offered the opportunity to peer directly into the American way of life. A program will be initiated allowing the delegates to stay in the homes of American families during their visit to Missoula. This homestay program will allow for true grassroots interaction between the delegates and their host families. And then on to Yellowstone, the first area to be designated as a national park in the United States. This is a place of natural beauty without parallel in the world. Here, while nestled in the splendor of the American frontier that inspired early settlers to move onward to the west, delegates will enjoy a reception at the Old Faithful Lodge, adjacent to the world's most famous natural geyser. Without a doubt, Yellowstone is one of the most stunning natural treasures that America has to offer. The final stop on this historic journey of friendship and cooperation will be Casper, Wyoming, the heart of America's cowboy country. American hospitality at its finest will be the order of the day as delegates are treated to a Western-style cookout. Casper will be the host of the closing events and ceremonies of the summit. While most of this sounds like fun, the true purpose of the summit is to help facilitate grassroots-level exchange between these two vibrant cultures. And a wealth of opportunities for this valuable contact will be built into the summit schedule. A variety of informative seminars and discussion groups throughout the summit will allow delegates the chance to initiate and develop person-to-person connections that will continue to flourish into the future. The time is now for these bridges of understanding to be built while the walls of separation are being torn down. The benefits of this noble course of action cannot be allowed to slip from our grasp. The second Japan-America Grassroots Summit is the continuation of a dream that is valuable to each and every one of us. We sincerely hope that you will join us in the realization of this dream. The dream begins in Boston. We hope to see you there.